Hello and welcome to another World of Warplanes video with me, Sir 10 Death. Today I'm taking a look at the last Tier 4 fighter that I have to review, and it's the one I've been leaving till last for a reason, because up until recently I simply didn't like it. It's the second German one. It's the Heinkel HE112 or 112. As ever, I'll be showing you some gameplay footage and we'll be talking about what this plane does well and what it doesn't do so well, and I'll explain why I didn't like it until quite recently. So, there are two German Tier 4 planes. I reviewed the other one just a day or two ago, and that was the Messerschmitt Bf109B, which I will put a link to that video on here. And yeah, so this is the second one. Now, I said I didn't like it, and I'll tell you one reason why that is: because its stock guns are awful. I'll talk a bit more about those as we go through the video, but they are dreadful. I cannot say that enough. They are just awful, and if there's ever a thing in the game that needs the use of free experience just to jump past them, this is it. I did say in an earlier review this week on the Ki-43 Hayabusa that its stock guns weren't very good and needed to move on. These ones are even worse. Anyway, let's talk about this plane and what it can and can't do. So, it's got out of the box 150 hit points at Tier 4, which is okay. It's not good, it's not bad, it's somewhere in the middle. That's workable, you can live with that. When you improve the airframe, that goes up to 160. A little bit of improvement, not really going to make a huge difference, except maybe if you're very, very lucky. Maneuverability wise, it's 75, which for fighters is a little bit on the low side. This is... It's obviously, you're not going to outturn any of the Japanese ones, the Ki or the A6M1. You're not going to outturn the Bristol 146. You're going to have problems with the I-17 if you get into a dogfight with that. But the German counterpart, the one I talked about yesterday or the day before, the Bf109, is similar to this in the sense that it's got limited maneuverability. On the other hand, the Bf109 has got a bit better hit points and better guns, so it's a reason why. This one, it's just not, it feels sluggish. When you turn, it just feels like it's hard work to get turned round. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. On paper, its turn circle is 9.6 seconds, which is not terrible. There are better, but there are also worse. It's not awful, but it just, for me, it didn't feel as though it turned particularly well. It is a quite a high level fighter. It's meant to fight around where I am now, about the 1200 meter area, and that's where it does its best work. But of course, because of the nature of the game, there are times you simply have to delve lower and get in amongst the combat. But it performs best over the 1000 meter mark. Speed wise, it's very average. It'll do, when not boosting, around 260-270 kilometers per hour. The boost will push it up to over the 400 mark. But of course, like all of these fighters, it has 6 seconds boost only, which runs out pretty quick. So, I mentioned earlier on about these guns then. Now, what I'm playing here in this bit of replay, which is I'm just going to work here on this guy, is the fully upgraded guns. When you get the Heinkel HE112, you have the stunning, amazing, incredible two 7.92mm guns. That's it, the Tier 4, 2 of them. Now, that means that you are outgunned by pretty much everything in the game, and that becomes problematic. It makes it really, really difficult to perform, because you can't outturn them with low maneuverability and low turn times, because you haven't got the hit points to soak up the damage, and you haven't got the guns to put it out. You just get knocked out of the sky for fun. Now, even when this is upgraded, it's still quite hard work to play well. I don't think I played this particularly well. I don't think yet that I've had a stunningly good game in it. I'll be honest with you, I've had to play this a good few times with those stock guns to get a feel for it. I have got lots and lots and lots of free XP, but I just wanted to actually get a feel for the plane as it was, so I can review it fairly. And I have to say, if you've got, what is it, 2,470 free XP, spend it. Upgrade these guns, because without them you're going to cry. Even with the guns upgraded, you still have to work quite hard, but at least then you can put the damage out. Now, with the fully upgraded guns, it's okay. It has two 20mm cannons then and two 792s. Those original two 792s, and adds on two 20s. The two 20s therefore make it much more potentially damaging. But you've got the overheating problem, so you've got to feather the guns more, which I'm still very much learning the trade of. And I do well sometimes and not so well other times. You see, they do overheat very rapidly. If you just watch that on the bottom left hand corner, it's just overheated there. And I'm actually just keeping it down because I'm trying to finish off this guy before he got away. I probably shouldn't have done, but oh, there you go. So yeah, I mean, this is just an opinion, and there's bound to be somebody out there that will go and strongly argue that this is a stunningly good plane, but in my opinion, of all of the tier 4 fighters I've reviewed, and I've done them all now, this has been the one that I've enjoyed least. Now, having said that, I was just playing a game in this about 10 minutes ago before I did the voice recording on this video, and this is not that footage, this is from a couple of days earlier, and I quite enjoyed it. It was okay. I still didn't have a great game. I still only did about 7,000 or so combat points, and we lost the game, but I'm starting to enjoy it more, and it's purely because I've got guns that can do something now. But on the whole, I haven't enjoyed it very much, and I'll be honest with you, I'm just looking forward to getting the whatever, 12,500 or so XP on this to move on and start to go down the multi-role line in the German tech tree, and that's all I'm using this for, is a sort of stepping stone. So, how does it compare to the other ones? Well, personally, in my opinion, the other German fighter, the Messerschmitt Bf-109B, is much better, much more fun to play, more damaging guns, more hit points, just more forgiving. I liked it a lot more than this. How does this compare to other planes from other tech trees? To be honest, for me, it's bottom of the pile. I personally think that particularly the Bristol 146, the American P-36 Hawk, the I-17, both of the Japanese ones, I think are just better planes than this, in my opinion. And that for me puts this right down rock bottom. Now, as I said, there's bound to be somebody out there who swears by this and says it's the best plane on the planet, and I happily stand corrected if there's a reason why and there's something that I've missed, but I think I've hit the nail on the head by saying that it's undergunned when early on, and even when you do get it fully upgraded, that just brings it to being a very average plane, not an amazingly good one. If you end up in a tier 5 battle with this, against the likes of Spitfires and things, then to be honest, you just get absolutely battered, you get knocked out of the sky, and it's just no fun at all. This is where it can shine a little bit, is if you can get onto the side of something heavily armoured, a big target, and get those 20s to work, and feather them properly, and you can, like that. I mean, pretty much took out that heavy fighter out of the sky in little more than a few seconds. So it can perform quite well, it's just, you've got to work quite hard to make it do that. Anyway, this game's kind of winding out here now. How are we doing? Yeah, on the whole we're ahead, and it's about 3/4 done. You can never say you've definitely won in this game, because of course there are mechanics in place, such as yeah, that guy was trying to ram me there, and I just managed to dodge him in the last minute and finish him off. A bit of a risk, but it worked. Just trying to polish off now. Yeah, there are games where if you lose all of your aircraft, your whole team gets knocked out, the enemy automatically will, even if you've been ahead on superiority points. So I'm just trying to do some damage, get out of the way. I don't want to get into a ramming contest with anybody really now, because the score line's about to come down. Knowing my luck, I will get knocked out of the sky. And now it happens to be very often, actually. Have a bad habit, I don't know if I do something wrong, but I have a bad habit sometimes of getting, there you go, just right now, right at the end, I just had my engine knocked, just as the squall line's come down. I personally, my strategies, I try to, yeah, there you go, I'm out there. I try to often, once the score line's down, is I try to look for anybody who's on very low hit points and polish them off. Once they're out of the game, they're out of there. It wasn't a great game, 9,200 combat points, the supporting fire award, flames in the sky for setting someone on fire. Only class 5 fighter, finished 3rd overall. So it wasn't a bad game, wasn't a great game. It's just, for me, not an easy plane, well, not an enjoyable plane to play. If you want to go down that route and try it for yourself, fair enough. I mean, when it's upgraded, it's okay. It's just not as good as most of the others, for me anyway. Anyway, that's me said as much as I'm going to say about the HE-112, but hopefully I'll be moving on from it soon on to bigger and better things. As ever, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will be keeping them coming your way. Do please share and subscribe, and like my channel. Thanks very much. Cheers now. Goodbye.